Well, good day, people. How are you? I'm Calvin Fitzgerald with the Minority Report. Hey, the Houston 100 cannot be more than happy to welcome this gentleman here, Mr. Abel Garcia. Now, he is the executive producer of the National Association of Minority Contractors, and he's also an author. So he can teach you how to market yourself, and I think that's super cool. So we're happy to have you, Mr. Garcia.
Calvin, thank you very much for having you here. I'm excited to be here with you guys. You have the right name, the Minority Report from a minority person.
The Houston 100 is happy to have you. Let's talk a little bit about who you are, a little bit of your background, so that the people can know.
Okay, well, first of all, as executive director of the Houston Minority Contractors, the big contractors get the jobs, and then they turn it over to us, the carpenters, the painters, the subcontractors. And so that's the team that we have, and there's almost all 80% minority in our subcontractors. So we represent the minority contractors in construction that build the big buildings, hospitals, schools, whatever commercial properties there are. And we've been growing by leaps and bounds. The last 3 years, we've grown probably 60-75% each year. And so we're having an astounding 3 years. And we've just made the cover of the Subcontractors USA and have a phenomenal board. By the way, our board is also very diverse. We have 4 women, 4 African Americans, 4 Hispanics, 2 Anglos, and 2 Pacific Asians. So we practice what we preach. We represent the minorities, and we do it in a great style. And so I'm very fortunate that to be the executive director. We're going to be having a tremendous event, Calvin, here Thursday, probably the biggest event in construction in 2020. We're going to have the Day of the Construction the Day of the Construction Worker in a viral 1-hour presentation. We went out because we couldn't gather large, so we went out to construction sites and we celebrated with our men and women while they were working. We had lunch, we gave them goodies, we gave them tickets, and so forth. So we went to 8 sites. We videoed it, and now we're going to put a collage together and show Houston that we're the oasis in the middle of this desert of bad news and sad news, and Houston is going to be brought back by the construction industry. So that's kind of what we do in construction.
Yeah, man. So you're actually from Houston.
I'm from Texas. I came to Houston as fast as I could, probably about 15 years ago. Houston's a phenomenal city.
How long have you been with the NAMC?
I've been with them 3 years. I'm a consultant, and I work with small businesses and also with young people and anybody that needs to change their career. In today's world, because it's obviously we're changing because of COVID, right? But in today's world, you have to be able to be receptive to change. You have to embrace it. You have to look at change like you're going on vacation. Plan it, embrace it, pitch it, hug it, because if you don't, you're going to be a relic. You're going to be left behind. So we want to reinvent ourselves and our companies ever so often.
How has the NAMC changed since COVID is?
That's a great question. We look at the glass as half full always, never half empty. So what we did, we knew nothing about virtual, right? But we were blessed that we have a company in our association that is called MCA, Master Communications Company. And so they taught us how to be able to do virtual. They handed me over to one of their directors, and he's worked with me, and we are now the most prolific on Houston or in Houston in construction in being online. We've done, 20, 25 webinars, and all our meetings are conducted that way. So it has strengthened us to the point that we are now recruiting more members, new construction members than we were before.
Yeah.
Although we had a lot of events.
Now, a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, they don't know how important the NAMC really is to Houston, especially that industry, the people who are building the buildings and doing the construction. Let's talk about that. And we've had conversation about the billions of dollars that is associated with this industry. Speak to that.
The big construction companies have the money, and they have the assets to be able to say, yes, we'll build that $50 million building, or yes, we'll build that $100 million business. But they don't actually do the building. They obviously manage it, they fund it, but then they hire the small contractors like us. We're the carpenters, the plumbers, the electricians, so we build the buildings, okay? We meaning the small contractors. So that's the role that we play. And so, mostly minorities, right? And so that's the way that works. We have large companies here in Houston that are $1 billion company, $2 billion company, but their role is to be able to have the funds to be able to say, yes, we can build that $100 million building. We have the funding, we have the bonding, and we have the money. And then they go out and they hire us because, again, we have the skills.
How successful has the NAMC been?
Extremely successful. I got to tell you that the last 3 years have been a phenomenal ride to the top, and we're not finished yet. We're probably at about 40% of where we're going because we've got big goals, great goals, and we know we're going to achieve them.
Awesome. How can people get involved with the NAMC?
You know, good question. If you're a contractor, if you're any kind of contractor that builds any building or whatever, you need to contact us, and you can contact us at namctexas.org, and there you'll get information how to become a member. We have 3 functions that we do. We advocate for our members, we educate our members, and then we put opportunities in front of our members. We bring the big contractors and say, this is what the large contractors have that you can bid on. Okay, it's 100% of the project, and you can bid on it. In the greater Houston area also, you have a portion of those contracts that have to be given or assigned to minorities. So they have, for example, some contracts that say 35% of this $100 billion or $1 million contract has to go to minorities, okay? Right. And so that gives us an opportunity to participate in these big buildings because otherwise we would not be able to. Awesome. So the city of Houston has goals, the county has goals, Texas, the United States has goals that some of that work has to go to minority contracts. So we have to be prepared. We have to get certifications. We have to be able to do the work.
Nice. Before the end of our conversation, I do want you to be able to speak to the book that you wrote. Okay. So let the people know about this book that you wrote on how to market themselves.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for asking, Calvin. You know, I've probably started about 14 small businesses in my career, and I always felt like, you know, you have to market yourself. You have to be able to have a marketing plan for you personally. Not only are you going to market the hamburgers or the pizzas or the furniture that you sell, you have to market yourself. What happens in most cases, we're our worst enemy. We're too slow, we're too fast, we're too fat, we're too skinny, we're not educated well. So you lose before you get to the door of opportunity. So I teach people, don't do that. Start thinking about what good things you've done before. Spotlight the things that you know how to do. Be able to say, I can do this very well. For example, if you speak to me, you say, can you help me with my career? You bet. You bet I can help you with your career. Because I'm going to find out what is good about you because I'm not involved with your mind of negative things. I'm involved with what is it that you've done positive. When did you decide to become a leader when you were young? What was the first thing that you did? Did you play ball? Did you cheerlead? What is it that you did? Because you find that unimportant, but that's what built your leadership skills. Okay, so those are the things that I do. I unpeel the onion, if you will, because I talk and I listen, and then I make some suggestions. You should be in this, or you should be in the other, because I've had the good fortune through the executive search of having. I was a generalist, so I went into a lot of fields, and it's a shame because all of us have the possibility of being better than what we are. So my 30-second elevator speech is, I'm going to help you be more than you ever dreamed of being. And then I go to work at how can I help you help yourself.
That's it. How do people get that book?
Well, they can go to Amazon. I'm on Amazon. They can look under Abel Garcia, author, or they can look under the books Market Yourself to the Top. The first one I wrote and published. The other 5 I learned that you can do it easier way by doing ebooks. And so the women will be interested that the 4th book I wrote was, and they're all under the moniker of Market Yourself to the Top. This one is Market Yourself to the Top, especially for the working woman. So they're fantastic. They're multitaskers, and that's also on Amazon. And they're not expensive. They're like, within $3.
That's it.
Good fast reads.
Well, people, it was an incredible conversation with Mr. Garcia. If you want to get involved with the National Association of Minority Contractors, you can visit namctexas.org. Is that correct?
That's correct, Alan.
And please look out for this gentleman's book. My name is Calvin Fitzgerald, here with the Minority Report. We are the Houston 100, and we look forward to interviewing you.